West Indies need to finish this off. Boy, he let that one go. Obviously, a little bit of extra stretching there took him over the front line. And that went way over the top.
Pushing towards 140 kilometers an hour, Darren Powell. That's good pace. Wow, these umpires are tight. They are giving absolutely nothing away. I don't agree with that being a no ball, to be honest.
Over the top again and down to the boundary. Well, that's again just a little bit unlucky, flashing outside that off stump and just not going anywhere near the hands of the slip fieldsman.
Getting carried away with the short balls again, Darren Powell. That's 4 in a row now. The last 2 deliveries of the previous over and the first 2 of this over. Producing runs. Keep it reasonably full. Look for that outside edge. Similar delivery to the one that got rid of Shane Warne. That's what he should be looking for.
Well, Brett Lee's had a wonderful time here. This is obviously one of his favourite grounds when it comes to batting. He's only ever been out once, and that was against New Zealand. He made 61 then. .41 kilometres an hour, almost 142. He's letting it rip. Yes, they're the figures I was talking about here at the Gabba. Way back in the 01 season, made that 62 not out against the West Indies. Followed that up with 61 New Zealand, and then there's been a bit of a break, and now 38 not out. So a single, and I bet, having seen a little bit of movement out there today, he'd be looking forward to getting the ball in his hand as well. Could see a few West Indians jumping around out there.
Pitch is quicker today than it was yesterday as well. As you dries out, you would expect the ball to come onto the bat a bit quicker. No moisture there for the ball to be gripping the surface. Will skid off a bit more. Will be interesting to see what happens when the West Indies do bat though. Chris Gayle, for instance, if he decides to take on Brett Lee or just tries to occupy the crease.
Oh boy, that looked like a late cut-off leg stump. There's a bit of frustration creeping in here, there's no doubt about that.
Well, this is a shot you won't be able to describe. It produced runs, put it that way.
We're seeing a change now. He's going to try around the wicket here. This is this little late cut, backing away a bit, and then I think he might even be trying to take the bat out of the way. Anyhow, all is well that ends well. Screen moves across around the wicket, slightly different angle here, so just sometimes puts a few thoughts into the batsman's head. You know, around the wicket, he'll be pitching outside leg stump, he'll be coming at my body. Just had a glance down towards square leg. Let's see what he does. That's the end of the over. 8 for 395.
Australian lower order batsman really frustrating the West Indies. Another handy partnership building up. We've just seen the one with Shane Warne and Brett Lee really develop into something this morning. Warne out for 47 eventually. Brett Lee has gone on to 39.
Waiting.
And Nathan Bracken proving to be a very stubborn number 10. He's on 15 not out. So it's been a good morning for Australia, Ian Healy.
It certainly has, Chappelli, and it's been an entertaining one because they've been ducking and diving and jumping and getting hit, but sticking around. Brett Lee in his last, I reckon, 4 test innings has spent just as much time on his backside as on his feet. The English hammered him, but he resisted beautifully. And he's back into it again, copping them on the body.
Thought he showed a lot of bravery with the bat. That's called a wide and a sensible call there by the umpire. Yeah, I thought he showed a lot of bravery with the bat in the Ashes series. He certainly copped a pounding. Andrew Flintoff really went after him, but he batted, I thought, exceptionally well in that Ashes series.
Average 26. Glenn McGrath averaged 36 in the Ashes. A lot of not outs, and powerful not outs they were too. And he decided, well, he's in with McGrath or something like that. He just took to some bowling at times.
Belted that. The fieldsmen just standing and looking at each other. Sort of, will you go? Will I go? Oh, well, perhaps I'll wander after it. While they wandered after it, batsmen have run 4.
400 up, run rate about 4 per over. Jermaine Lawson coming in for some punishment. He's been the most under-bowled of the West Indian quicks, so he should be the freshest. Didn't do a lot wrong there, but Bracken decided, I'm going anyway. Long time for mid-on, who is Fidel Edwards, I think, to get going. They're the ones you hope hit the rope. If he had wasted a bit more time, they could have run 5 because the ball was never going to hit the boundary.
Well, the fieldsman has moved back now at square leg, so to try and negate that, Nathan Bracken gives himself a bit of room, looking to hit through the offside.
Now Bracken is trying everything as well to go with Brett Lee. As I said, Brett Lee took to the English bowling right at the end of some innings. And now Bracken's showing the ability to do that. Of course, he loves the Gabba as well. We talk about Brett Lee, his last match. Well, Bracken has been a real pain up here in Brisbane against the Queensland Bulls. Wickets, runs, and a Pura Cup.
And that's gone through the slip cordon at very catchable height and away to the boundary. All I can say about that Pura Cup competition, Ian Healy, is every result pleases someone.
Exactly. Corey Collymore, that's the man on screen. He couldn't get the 5th wicket, but if they bowled more like that today and then the occasional body ball, I reckon they'd get this wicket, and they'd be able to have a 3rd slip in there. If the quality of the bowling was more consistent this morning in using these spicy conditions, they would have had a 3rd slip in there and Bracken could be in the shed. But yeah, Bracken and McGill putting on, I think, 23 for the last wicket in New South Wales to win the Pura Cup last year. See, that type of follow-up to a good ball. Got the outside edge, half on the front foot the ball before, in the air through the slips region, then followed up by a useless bouncer that goes way over his head. Followed up with a good bouncer or another one that might catch him on the crease, and then your captain's got plenty to work with.
There's no doubt there's a bit more life in this pitch today than there was yesterday. Either that or there's a bit more life in the bowling, but it's moving off the seam. Eight for 405. Frustration for the West Indies. No ball is the call, and it could have easily been a catch if it hadn't been a no ball.
Almost the 4th catch to Dinesh Ramdin. smirking about it. That's about all they can do due to their frustration this morning. Genuine call, that one. Backing away Bracken. Top edge. Is it the fourth catch? No, it's not. It's a no ball.
Well, we have the cricket show coming up in the lunch break, and Simon O'Donnell, they tell me it's left-handed opening batsman day.
Certainly is. Bill Brown, Bill Laurie a little bit later on, chaps. But we won't be talking to Bill Laurie about cricket. We'll be talking about one of his favourite pastimes, and that's the old pigeon. Won't be pigeon stew because he's a pigeon lover. He'll tell us all about them. Also, the tail's wagging here for the Aussies at the Gabba. Not so the middle order for a few months now, and Mark Taylor's going to pop in and tell us all about that Aussie middle order. Back to you guys.
All that and more coming up in the cricket show, which will be on in the lunch break. Lunch break won't come soon enough for the West Indies, the way things have gone for them this morning.
It's when they're at their best, the West Indies, just either side of a break, really, especially coming back out. They do have a tendency to regroup. Maybe that means this man needs to be doing more in this period. The senior players, to get their bowlers on track, to give them much more definite plans, or to keep them on the plan. They've been a bit haphazard and a bit fiery this morning.
Six boundaries for Brett Lee in his innings of 39. Just well, very neat, just to open the blade just at the right moment.
He's watching the ball so well, isn't he? You follow the line of his eyes and his helmet as that one's approaching him at about 140 k's an hour. He's just right in behind it, in great balance, great position. He knows he's going to get some short stuff, and as Bill Laurie, I think, said, might have been Tony Gregg said, he's a smiler. And why wouldn't you smile, knowing that you can deliver you can deliver many more back at greater pace.
Around the wicket now. That suits Brett Lee. He moves into the 40s.
What's impressed me most about his batting in this particular innings is the way he's watched the ball, short and full. But he hasn't had it all his own way. He's a big boundary hitter, Brett Lee, but this particular innings he's worked the ball for 13 singles as well as the 6 fours he's hit.
Back over the wicket now. Darren Powell. Oh, that's crunched. And when he hits them, they go a long way.
That's up the top. That made a magnificent crack of leather on willow, and it's gone into the top tier by the look of the crowds. I lost it in the air, but they're all looking up. That is a mile. It might have hit the canopy. They don't know where it is. The crowd have lost it. He has hammered that just the right length to get up and under. Just finished talking about how he's working the singles around beautifully. Look at this. Wow.
I was just thinking, one of those fours that we showed you on replay, the bat sounded really good, but it didn't sound quite as good as that one. That made a wonderful crack. Wonderful for Brett Lee. Not so sure that Darren Powell enjoyed it.
That's the area he took the flint off in England as well. Stands and delivers. The bowler digs it in. He can still flat bat it that way and get some great power behind it. They've lost it, have they? I'd like it confirmed as to where it landed, whether it landed in the race in the top deck and went through and out the back of the stadium. Those little tunnels that get through to the concourse out the back of the grandstands. Darren Powell, have a look at his eyes straight away. Oh, he knows. Didn't that sound good? It's a mystery. The mystery of the disappearing ball, and when that happens, Ian